Welcome, Gemini. This is going to be a reading for the next 48, and this is August 4th, so it'll be to the 6th. And I think I had this song coming in for the Aries reading. It's Perfect by Ed Sheeran, but it's a specific line in it that says, darling, you don't deserve this because you're so perfect to me. I know that that's a little bit butchered in there. I think even some of it is choppy, but I think that's why I think the message needed to come through to you for that. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, North Node, and if you have some Vedic placements in Gemini too, I'm getting a strong pull to tell you to check that. But it might be that some of you are in situations where you recognize that you deserve better, or it might be that you have somebody coming your way in the next 48 hours who recognizes that maybe they have not been treating you fairly. With the overall reading, I'm going to say be careful because there are hidden enemies around. So be careful, trust your intuition, follow your guiding light, and remember too that, like, in my opinion at least, I would always rather give somebody an opportunity, another new opportunity to reach their guiding light, but that does not mean having bad boundaries. Be good to yourself first and foremost. So let's see what's coming up for our Geminis. Just had a card. It didn't want to fall out, but it popped up as the Eight of Cups in reverse. So there might be somebody who's trying to come back to you, or you may be considering returning to someone, or maybe someone's trying to return to you. We only had one card that just popped out here, the Seven of Pentacles. Now, sevens and fours in the tarot deck tend to be pauses, and this seven in particular is one of contemplation. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands, which is, it's about recognition. It's kind of a victory card. It's like coming back from a long battle away and being welcomed home in a little parade and stuff. So I'm kind of getting the sense that either you feel like the returning victor and you're thinking about communicating to somebody that you've been watching maybe glow up a little bit, maybe somebody that you formerly thought that things couldn't work out with, and you're really watching and seeing what they've been working on, or you yourself are kind of contemplating and watching what you've been working on, and you're like, hey, I've got a nice little handy dandy garden here. It's, it's not everything yet, but the weeds are out of it and it looks kind of nice, and it could be a bit of self-recognition, a bit of healthy ego coming in there. This card, however, too, though, can indicate that somebody could be coming in who still needs to shed a few layers of ego. But let's see. I'm hearing the horn in the distance, so I'm getting a sense that, yes, be aware of that. And with the mercurial energy we have going on right now, it's kind of Ace of Swordsy. And I'm really getting that strong sense for you, because you're in Gemini energy, that this is kind of a reflection. So be aware of the ego issues going on. Yeah, and yeah, because at the top of the deck we have the Seven of Swords. So you got 2 7 cards in there too. That's wisdom, and it's really allowing that to seep in and to really kind of contemplate what you know. And with 2 7s, we have 14, which is the Temperance card, and that's one of healing and experimentation, and also spirit kind of holding our cup away from another cup, maybe somebody that we're interested in or somebody we've been entangled with, and kind of helping us reflect on what we've learned so far and maybe what we still need to learn. But the Seven of Swords in particular is one... It's typically the cheater's card, and it's also somebody that is deceptive and manipulative, and is kind of, they're playing life sort of like a chess game, where it's, how many pieces can I walk away with, but they have too many coming in. And so if this is you and you've been trying to, like, strategically get someone back or get back at somebody, this can also be very bratty energy. Heal that within you that makes you feel like it is better to be vindictive than to release it and let it go. This is also a card too of looking back at the past. So again, whereas remember I was saying that Eight of Cups in reverse was coming up, it may be, especially with the swordsy energy, that and with the Six of Wands in there, that you have somebody who has been watching you and thinking about you and watching you glow up, and they might speak up, or they might give some sort of hint about it, or they might give you a few extra compliments about it, something along those lines, or you may feel called to do that with someone else. Let's see what else we have in here. In the middle of the deck, yeah, that moon card. The moon card is one that sits between the unfolding path ahead and potential hidden enemies. And it's where, like, if you're at a fork in the road and you can't see where either path ends, and you have to decide which one you're going to travel down at this moment, because you can sit there, if you want, and enjoy this energy. Maybe that's even a good idea to contemplate. This might be a really good 48 hours for kind of a meditative, reflective kind of state to go on. But either way, in terms of picking which path your heart really wants to follow and sussing out hidden enemies, they both require you to be able to connect with your intuition, which I have a Gemini rising in Western and a fair amount of ADD. It can be a challenge sometimes, especially with hot Mercury and Leo energy going on and Sun and Leo energy. But it is so good to learn to train yourself to be able to stop and just kind of contemplate what is going on around you. Now, yeah, you might, some of you, well, okay, so some of you might find yourselves in an unhappy home situation, and if you find that you're on like a twin flame or shadow flame type of journey, you might recognize that you have been with a false flame, and that's kind of what you're reflecting on. And you may realize that you have been in a battle, or someone may come to you and tell you that they recognize that they thought they were getting happy home, happy life, happy wife kind of situation, and they didn't. What they got instead was a bunch of big heavy burdens. Or it could be you that's telling this to somebody else. I would not do a whole ton of spending over the next couple of days, Gemini. I would hold on to them, reflect on any mother wounds that you still need to work on, maybe connect with feminine friends who have stable emotional self-discipline and who are empathetic, and be on your guard just a little bit of who you talk to about things, especially anybody who seems to be using the past as an attempt to reconnect with you. But also try not to shut yourself out from actual fun connections just because you're anxious about who on your path might not be, they might be doing that Seven of Swords to you. Because if you spend too much time worrying about hidden enemies and not enough time being willing to make mistakes and following your heart, you end up in this Five of Cups energy where you still got two really nice cups right behind you, but what you're focused on is the three cups that you kicked over in front of you. And the funny thing is, in this card, it's actually a card that reminds us to be grateful, because in those cups that were kicked over, one of the cups had poison in them and two of the other cups had wine in them. And so it's actually really good thing that they got kicked over. But when we get into victim mindset, we don't always think about it that way. And if you're around somebody who's like that, get away from that energy. That's the way to kill off the stagnation, or bring on stagnation of life, and that's no fun. And anything you can do self-care wise, do it. If you're thinking about starting a new project, this Mercury direct energy is a great time for that, especially financially. And remember that you don't have to rush in talking to people, and people talking to you don't necessarily need to rush. And you've got a youthful earth sign, or somebody who's in like earthy type energy, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, who is really like they're either in a King of Pentacles position or they're getting into one, and they're seeing you as the Nine of Pentacles, that single self-sufficient one who the birds like to come and rest on your wrist, and they're looking at their situation, or you are, and seeing that they don't have everything that they thought that they wanted, and somebody might be offering you a new beginning, either financially or in some sort of 3D way over the next 48 hours, or they might at least be thinking about it and it come to you not long after that. Yeah. You know what? Focus on contemplation. Enjoy looking at what it is that you've built so far, what you've manifested so far, Gemini. And otherwise, remember that you don't have to rush even if everybody else is rushing around you. It is okay to stop and say, you know what, I'm going to take a me day. Alright, if you'd like a personal reading, please feel free to send me an email at MadameThanatas@gmail.com.